Hello, everybody. I'm Carmen Harra. We've been speaking before about karma, about affirmation, about spirituality, about laws of the universe, and most likely about relationships, 4 types of relationships. I wrote a book on Karma Quiz Guide to Relationships. And I wrote many other books, but anyhow, the topic today is how to fix conflict in relationships. And I came up with 11 actions that will actually help you fix conflict in relationships. And I'm going to give you all my advice that I hope to be helpful because, as you know very well, we work very, very hard to build a relationship. And relationships are so powerful. You know, the word relationship comes from the Latin word relatio, which means to relate, to heal, to bring together. So to be in a relationship is so significant. We are in a relationship with everybody in the world around, from our friends, family. So there are all kinds of relationships, but I'm talking most likely today about love relationships. So, you know, that as I said, relationships do take a lot of work, but rarely can we imagine how much work they need. And after putting years and years of effort, you know, to build a relationship, in minutes, a relationship actually can break. So frustration accumulates, you know, when a relationship reach a boiling point, you know, and in minutes, words can create irreparable damage. So what can you do actually when such things happen? And because we jump to the emotional side of us, we are quick to anger and ruin something that we believe for so many years is the most important thing in our life. So the most critical part of any fight is the way we make up. Now, it's unrealistic to think that your relationship won't be subject to a conflict or to a fight through many years. It's unrealistic to think that way, because almost every single relationship reaches that kind of a point. Now, the wisdom is how can you navigate through that point with wisdom, and which are the elements of making peace, and which are those, as I said, those actions that you need to take so that you can fix a situation that can happen. So so that you can reduce discord in a relationship that can happen over time. Now, as I said, change happen in a relationship because relationships are not the same. They change, they transform. We change, we transform. The fact of the matter is, what changes in a relationship is the way we think. Your brain functions from habit, meaning it resorts to the same thoughts over and over again. So when you think differently, you speak and you act differently, which yields different results. So you have to adopt some mentalities that will counterattack conflict and carry out productive dialogue. Because that's the question. A relationship, it's all about dialogue. It's all about communication. And the problem that we have as humans, we don't know how to communicate our feelings. We don't know how to carry a dialogue. We don't know how to express ourselves. Now, the first action that we need to take is the responsibility, not blame. The first one is responsibility, not blame. So the first step to rebuild a peaceful relationship is don't point fingers, take responsibility. There's no such things like only one person is to be blamed. There's always two people. It takes two to tangle. So definitely think there must have been something that you personally also did wrong. So instead of pointing fingers, think about what you did wrong and take some responsibility and don't blame. Number 2, meditation, not desperation. When something like a big fight happens, the first reaction is, because we're vulnerable, we're human, we operate on feelings, on emotion, and negative emotion, is that we become desperate. We become desperate and we don't think. We only operate on feelings. So the side of the brain, the seat of the intelligence, the cortex, doesn't operate. Only the part of the brain that is emotional, the hypothalamus, operates. We sometimes used to say count to 100 to understand what you are doing, because the first reaction that we have as humans, we operate on feelings. Allow the brain to integrate, what's happening to you and comprehend and process the information. That's why meditation exists. When you meditate, when you breathe, when you start breathing, you start to process, you start to go inward, and you start to understand what's happening to you, and you process the emotions, and you can come up with something more intelligent. And then instead of being desperate, you have a resolution. So meditation, not desperation, is number 2. So responsibility, not blame, meditation, not desperation. Reception, not reaction, is number 3, which means you're not reacting, because reaction will be emotional. You don't want to react. You want to be receptive. You want to listen what your partner has to say, which in many cases we don't want to listen. We only listen to our own self, to our own part of the story. That's what's very wrong. You have to have the patience to see what the other one has to say. So understand, what the mate has really to say takes time. But the truth will be brought to the surface. Number 4 is present, not past. You always want to start your day with a clean state. Because if your partner messed up yesterday, it doesn't mean that you have to bring that up every single day. So present, not past. If you want not to have conflict every single day, remember, present, not past. Forget about the past. The past is gone. So you have to live in the moment. Number 5, in needs, not desires. There's a difference between having needs and having desires. Be clear about your needs, not your desire. You might crave a vacation. That's not a need. The need is to spend time with your partner. So make the difference and prioritize needs versus desires. Because if you do not prioritize, you will amplify the conflict. Quality, not quantity. This is such a big statement, but it comes through in a relationship, because you want to have quality time with your mate, or you also want to have a quality conversation, not quantity. You want to have a good conversation, a quality conversation, versus dozen meaningless talks, with your partner without producing any results. So that is powerful in order to heal a relationship and eliminate the conflict. One good talk, one quality talk will do it. Intimacy, not influence. That's another powerful tool that you have to consider as your action in healing a relationship and avoiding conflict. Because keep your relationship private and guard your affairs between you and your partner. Don't let anybody know what's going on, because this is the only way your relationship would blossom. And this is the only way you will avoid extra damage and extra conflict, because if you talk about your relationship to the outside world, the influences will be obvious, and you will add a lot of fuel, and the conflict will escalate, and then you will create a lot of damage. And then we keep on going by saying that reality, not perfection, is very significant when we're talking about action that you need to take, to fix conflict in a relationship. Because you have to be realistic. And you don't have to expect perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. The love you want to receive may be different than the love you actually get, because people are far from being perfect. And another one is literally, not personally. Don't take things personally. Maybe your partner has his bad day, mentally, emotionally, physically. Your partner goes through his own issues. So don't take nothing personally, because if you do, you will, as I said, contribute to the conflict, which you don't want to. Source, not consequences. Think this way. It's important in life to go to the source of a problem, where the conflict was originally created. Don't go to the consequences in order to fix a problem. Go to the source where you first time started to argue. That's where the problem originated. In order to fix it, go there. Not go to the, exactly like when you want to heal from a disease. You don't want to treat the symptoms. You want to treat the root of the problem. That's exactly true when it comes to healing a relationship. And the 11th one will be the resolution and not the consequences, because we are quick to jump to consequences. If something goes wrong, we just jump to conclusions instead of having a resolution. So when it comes to a relationship, make sure you come to a good resolution, and every single day, you build. A relationship is about building every single day, and deleting and eliminating, as I said, the negative and building the positive. I know it's easy to say, but I think if you follow these 11 steps, these 11 actions, you can always take charge and make your relationship as good as possible. I'm Carmen Harra. You can read this article on HuffPost, the 11 action to fix conflict in relationship. You can follow me on Facebook, Carmen Harra, carmenharra.com. Write me at Carmen Harra and AOL. If you like this video, you can share it. And these are I know I should have displayed them, but these are my 11 steps, as you can see them. Here they are, the 11 steps that you need to take, to 11 actions to fix conflict in relationship. And thank you so much for watching. I love you. Mwah.